Hey everybody, welcome to today's video where we're going to discuss how Amazon has been canceling Christians. This was an email that I came across recently from American Family Association. This is Tim Wildman, son of Don Wildman. He sort of came into public head when he was watching TV one night, and this was decades ago, and saw how raunchy and racy it was, and that he created a whole network of Christian entertainment and different things for us to watch. And he also fought against Senate and other legislation and trying to create ways for Christians and people to have wholesome entertainment to watch. Well, anyway, so they're still around decades later, and they've been creating things, including a movie called In His Image, which is a Christian take on the lives of homosexuals and transgenders, and it's been released in the last couple of years. A wonderful film if you haven't gone and see it. We also interviewed director Kendra White of that film here on Tell Me Your Story, so I'll put the link in the description in the cards above so you can watch that if you'd like to. So I'd just like to talk for a minute about this email they sent out. It says, Amazon Prime cancels AFA. It says, dear friend, it's going to be a long, hot summer, and I'm not talking about the weather. He says, I'm talking about the battle between the emboldened left, which is flat out pushing the nation towards godless Marxism, and those of us who are standing firm in the conviction that America's only hope is a return to our Christian foundations. Is that you? Are you believing that our Christian nation needs to come back to its foundations? I know that I'm hoping to see things change because of the love of Christ and the teachings of Christ in us. Amazon Prime recently censored AFA. He says, I'm still shaking my head over the streaming service's refusal to offer our new documentary, In His Image, delighting in God's plan for gender and sexuality. No, I'm not surprised, Tim goes on to say, but I'm disgusted at the hypocrisy and callousness. Amazon Prime offers every kind of degrading material imaginable, including hardcore pornography. I didn't know that that's something that they had over there, but apparently it is. And an entire LGBTQ movie collection. Surely. I mean, that's the world. That's what the world produces now on a wide scale. In fact, these morals are centered into everything, including Marvel movies, Disney movies, especially recently, but refuses a fair-minded film that is well-researched, has world-class production values, and whose touchstones are truth and compassion for hurting people. I mean, if you guys haven't seen In His Image, this is a right on take where they've interviewed many people, including people who have been transgendered, who found Christ and came back and changed their gender back. This is not just a one-sided conversation. They're having people who have dealt with homosexuality on both sides, where they both think that it's okay to be homosexual still, and where they've said that God has a different plan for us. So this documentary is very well produced, high production value, and for Amazon to say, hey, we're not going to pull this on, but you've seen some of the stuff that's on Amazon, especially if you're like me and you're flipping through the channels at night and you're trying to find something to watch. You're like, how do some of these videos even make it onto this streaming service? But we know that God's plan for what he's doing in our lives is different than what he's doing in the world. Tim went on to say the company is not even willing to discuss the matter. It sent a notice to them, apparently, where it said, all review decisions are final, and this title may not be resubmitted or appealed. Can you believe this? Can you believe in the world of cancellation culture that you can't even resubmit? They're just like, we're taking a hard stance on this. You don't fit our guidelines. You don't have the rules. You don't have the morals that we want you to abide by. And then they just take you off there. Meanwhile, the opposite of which, so if you're trying to be fair-minded, there's no way that that's happening. And so obviously we know as Christians that persecution is going to come. But when it comes to saying, okay, well, your film's not good enough, or your film doesn't, present both sides of a story, this documentary has done that way more than some of the things that we see, especially in primetime television, where they're just simply putting a gay person on every single reality show that they have. You know, this is 1% of the population or less that deal with identify as being homosexual, yet they are in 50% or more of all the media that's being produced and put in front of us to watch. And so we have to get away from watching these types of shows. We have to put ourselves in a heart of understanding that God doesn't want these things for us. And a documentary like In His Image really shows us why. And it goes deep into the conversation of why we don't want to see this happen in our lives. Does it mean that you can't be gay and Christian? These are questions for another video. But what it does mean is that God's plan for us is to be in his image. And this video definitely talks about that. I don't want to see people get canceled. I want to see, especially God. Obviously, God's going to have the final say in all of this. But to see Christian films be canceled, and especially good ones that are offering two sides to an argument and at least having a conversation and willing to have a conversation, when people like Amazon are just canceling films simply for having an opinion that isn't the one that they have. I really believe that we should start canceling things like Amazon, and we should stop giving our money to them if they're not going to allow us to be able to use our gifts and talents to create things that encourage other people out in the world. And so we're also going to have to start promoting and lifting up the people who are doing it. So I would encourage you to head over to AFA, over to their website, watch this movie, download it, buy it, support them in some way, because we don't want to see Christians continue to get canceled. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel as something that you want to be able to watch more Christian content in your daily news feed and have it pop up. We create all sorts of different videos around here, testimonial videos, gambling resource videos, our take on certain topics of the week, and we want to be able to encourage you wherever you're at in your life with Christ and encourage you with wholesome Christian entertainment and conversation. So don't forget to subscribe to Testimony House before you leave here today. Head over to our shop and get you a shirt to express your faith, where you can be used by God wherever you're at, whether you're online or out in the world. Thanks for watching today's video. What do you think about Amazon canceling AFA? What other things have you seen that have been canceled? And let us know so we can talk about that maybe in the next video. Thanks so much, guys. See you later.